What's up, guys? I am back from vacation. I've got a new microphone. My mom bought me one for Christmas. This one is very good, so I'm hoping that this will be the last time I switch microphones. Um, yeah, we are going to be doing the rest of Kentucky Route Zero, finishing that up today, and then from there, I guess we will figure out what else we want to do. Menu. Pueblo de Nada. It's a town of nothing. Rainy. I'm not late, am I? This must be our guest. Oh, hi. You must be, Oh, sorry. I'm Maya. Right. The traveling artist. Welcome. I'm Emily. I, work here. Great. Rita says you're the producer? Oh, did she? Yeah, I guess so. I do a little bit of everything. Yeah, I know the feeling. You weren't around earlier at the lunch thing? No, I don't live in town. I just come in to work at the station. Really? That's quite a hike, isn't it? I know some shortcuts. Oh, okay. I should make sure she's comfortable. So, do you... No, I'm fine, thanks. I'll just find somewhere to perch until you folks are ready. I've got a lot to digest, mentally, I mean. Well, and it was a big lunch, but I spent most of the afternoon examining the mounds. Oh, the burial mounds? Yeah, that's why I came down here, to see up close and make some sketches. They're amazing, right? They make me uncomfortable, to be honest. It seems kind of weird to build a town on a graveyard. Sure, every town has a graveyard, but usually the town comes first. Okay, I'll check if Rita's ready. You can just hang out back here somewhere. We'll let you know when it's time to come on set. Great. Thanks for having me. You too. I mean, you know what I mean. Why am I so awkward with visitors here? Just used to seeing the same 12 people day in and day out, I guess. Oh, this is interesting. I hope the neighbors are okay. If it gets any worse, we might be stuck in town tonight. At least the floor is staying dry. Alright, Cyrano's here to help with the production. This should be cool. Ben and Bob working on a project. We found that radio in the woods a week or two ago. I cleaned the circuits with rubbing alcohol and left it in the sun. Seemed like it was working okay again, so why are they taken apart? Looks like the ceiling is holding up okay, just the usual leaks. Miss you, Cross-Eye. Oh, James left a patch wired up on the image processor. Nice. Maybe there'll be time to play with it after the show. Slow-mo Crow, keeping an eye on the control board. Keep up the good work, Mel. The video databank. It used to be on the other side of the room, and the couch was in this corner. We moved it here when the ceiling is... We moved it here where the ceiling is least leaky. It's further from the windows, too, so sunlight doesn't bleach labels. So much of archiving is just playing hide-and-seek with the weather. Elmo gets a lot more into it when he has some noise to vibe on. If it gets any worse, we might be stuck in town tonight. Anything else? I think that's everything. Alright, let's do one more spin. There we go. Time to start the show. Okay, ready when you are. How does it look outside? Gross. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. Saturn is in retrograde. What does that even mean? Yep. Think it'll let up? I guess we'll see what Elma says. My poor tomatoes. Okay, in 3, 2. Hi, it's Rita. This is your evening broadcast, 8192. Wow, it's really raining out there. Damn, I can hear it from here. We have a few leaks. Put some pots and bowls underneath them. Thanks, Ron, for lending us your extra pots and bowls. I hope you had a good day despite the weather, although it was really nice earlier, right? I had a good day today. I met a new friend. She's going to join us in about a minute or so. Maybe you saw her earlier, around lunch, or if you didn't meet her, then you'll meet her in a minute. Or if you met her already, but you still want to hang out, I'm sure there's plenty we can talk about. Wow, so this is 8192, is that right, Emily? Sounds reasonable. Yep. That's a lot of broadcasts. I came in around the 5s, so I've only been around for half of them. And back then, in the 5s, let's see, I did Night Noise, and we had the Swap Show, and the Bird Show, and people were just coming in and dropping off tapes all the time, and now, well, now it's just the evening broadcast. But it's not like... I'm not saying we're in decline or anything like that. I love the evening broadcast. I think it was the first show we had on here. It was the first show not produced by the power company. It was the first community show, yeah. Those empty, humming shots of trees and glowing-eyed animals. Before that, it was just security footage from the woods. Yeah, so it's the spine of the station. Or maybe it's the heart? Or is it the skin? What part of the WEVP body do you think this is? Why don't you come on by and tell us about it? We're going to be here for another 30 minutes or so. Or, if you don't want to brave the storm, you can always give us a call. Same number as always. 270-216-5556. Okay, so we're going to start with the tape. This is an old one. It's one of mine, but maybe you haven't seen it. Or, if you've seen it, it's been a while, so maybe you've forgotten. Shit. What? She asked me to queue up a tape. Un Pueblo de Nada. Where is it? I don't know. It's probably still shelved. I'll find it. Ron Silent Mouse, thank you. Emily scans the shelf of videotapes. What's this? Impossible to say. Not much tape in there, though. Old bumpers? Someone should come in here and label all these. We should put this all in chronological order. Although, I guess it's hard to remember sometimes the order of things. And some of these tapes were made at the same time, where we started one video and then started another in the middle, and then came back later, and... time is out of joint. It's like sweeping a beach. Oh, wait a minute. Ralph borrowed it for his screening, so it's probably with the others he returned. Here, on Connie Reframed, Bearway Studies, Death of an Airfield. Un Pueblo de Nada. Aha. What would you all do without me? Here you go, Mo. Hold off on playing this until Rita's done setting it up. Thanks, babe. Ready when you are, Rita. Some people that lived here a long time ago, before the company town, before the airstrip, like over 100 years ago. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it. Ready, Emily?
Su primer experimento fue liberar a los caballos. Llegaron de Florida.
This is cool. Have you seen it before?
Antes de eso, de algún lugar en América Central.
I should say something
Pero
nice.
ninguno de los que llegaron
Yeah, it's
aquí habían
something else.
vivido en América Central.
You know, it's unconvinced.
La comunidad se reconstruyó
It's not a bad way to
a sí
learn about
misma,
history, though.
persona por persona, en los años entre medio.
She did a lot of research for this tape. The people of nothing. We still have a few of those worn out notebooks they left. I guess that guy from the university took the rest. What did he say he was working on? Oh, right. The Archive of Utopian Thought. Some big preservation project, I guess. So now the people of nothing are on a shelf somewhere. In here, on this tape. It is history, right? Or is it just a story? It's good to have a portrait of the people who used to live here, and it does a good job of communicating who they were, what they did, what they were like, I think. People should know. A community shouldn't just disappear, even when it disappears. Or is there even a difference? Although, now the tape is just here, on a shelf. Every once in a while we dust it off and it shuffles around the airwaves again like an old dog. Sorry, did I say something wrong? Oh, no, sorry. I just have some weird shit going on in my head tonight. You know what I mean? Sure. It's okay. Sorry I spaced out. Don't worry about it. You should... Oh, should I go sit? Yeah, it's almost over.
Eran una comunidad científica. Ellos creían que los comportamientos humanos físicos.
I hope the sign isn't getting wet. So, where are you staying tonight? You're in town. Oh, good. Yeah. Even before the storm came in, I thought it'd be nice to get some rest before the long hike back to the highway. Ron offered his loft? What? He said I could sleep in his loft? Oh, honey, he's talking about his barn. Ron, nobody wants to sleep in your barn. Ron shrugs. It's not haunted. Hauntings aside, it's not a very comfortable barn. I mean, I can sleep anywhere, but I think the last time Bob slept in there, he needed a tetanus shot after. But that's Bob. He's a hypochondriac. I'm not sure he even really needed it. You'll stay at my place. Oh, thanks. Do you need anything? Actually, do you have an extra toothbrush? It'd be nice to sleep under the stars. I think I do, actually. Yeah. Oh my god, I've been in the woods, you know? Right. I actually used a twig this morning. I kind of chewed up one end. No stars tonight, though. I've done that. Really? I'm disappointed. I thought I invented it. Even better, you can chew on some pine needles. It really freshens your breath. I mean, it's not perfect. Wow, that's roughing it. Just close your eyes and pretend, I guess. Right? Exactly. And even then, it's just not the same as real toothpaste. What the hell are they talking about? Oh, okay. Hi, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Like I said, that was from, like, it's several years old. I can't remember exactly. I enjoyed it very much. Oh, thank you, Maya. What's next? I brought in tape. Oh, okay. You good? All queued up? I'm gonna check the boys. The boys. What the hell are they doing? Ben and Bob are seated on the couch, poking at the electronic innards of a radio. So then it won't mute while it scans between stations. Okay, because that's where they live, right? No, you just want that constant static noise. Right, the noise. That's where they live. They don't live anywhere, dude. They're ghosts. Okay. Why does it matter where you tune the radio? It's like soil in your garden. You need rich soil, right? Meshed up, rotted leaves and stuff, like compost. Oh, hey Em, how's the show? What the hell are you doing to that poor radio? Working on a new ghost box. This guy Frank wrote about it in his newsletter. The Paranormal Periodical. No, that's Sylvia's. Frank's is the Ghost Gazette. The radio crackles as it scans rapidly across the spectrum. Snippets of voices mixed with colored noise and unfamiliar interference patterns. Did you hear that? That was definitely a voice from beyond the grave. Sounded like, I clearly heard dogwood in there. Yeah, kinda. Sounded more like frogwood to me. What the hell is frogwood? Man, I don't tell the ghost what to say. Did you hear that, Emily? Must have been dogwood. Dogwood, of course. I guess it doesn't matter. The ghost voices don't really come out until you play back the recording later. They only exist in recordings, like a copy without an original. A mirror reflecting something that isn't in the room. Eerie. Like the mounds. The burial mounds here in town. You think they're haunted? No. Or, sure, probably. But I meant they're like the reflection. The people who made them lived hundreds of years ago. That whole society is long gone, and now we just have these lingering echoes without any trace of context. Yeah, that is kind of eerie. So, the ghosts speak and we can't hear them, but the tape recorder can hear it. Is that right? I don't know. Sometimes I think it's more like the recording itself is a ghost. Like, that's what ghosts are. Recordings of events that didn't happen. When something keeps leaving new marks even after it's gone. False memories. The town looks really empty in the rain. I wonder if that's true in all cities too. If rain makes it all look empty. I'm trying to remember. What's a big city I've been in when it rains? Oh, Chicago. Downpour on Western Avenue. We took shelter in a gas station. Does it just look empty because everyone stays inside? No, there's something uncanny about a town in a thunderstorm. It's like a reanimated corpse. The bowls on the floor are getting full pretty quick. I hope somebody is planning to empty these. Somebody else, I mean. Ugh, more leaks. This is not sustainable. I love the oscilloscope. You can plug any signal in here and it shows up on the screen. Sound waves, video signals, even just a weak electrical signal with no other purchase on the senses. You can inspect electronic sounds that are usually too low frequency to detect. Sometimes it takes a little tuning. James used this to show me the ghost in our wiring here in town. There's a low hum, barely even a hum, because it's too slow to be audible. A slow, gentle oscillation that offsets every other electrical signal in town. James hasn't been able to figure out what causes the hum, but it's okay. It's too subtle to cause any real problems for us. It's just there. James has been working on this circuit diagram for a while now. The diagram has been up on the chalkboard for at least a couple of months. It's a schematic for some essential component in the image processor. Nobody understands it but James. That's the point. He's trying to clean it up and simplify it a bit. He'll publish the simplified diagram, and everyone can build an image processor. Meanwhile, it's like hieroglyphics in here. The schematic seems to get more eerie the longer James is away. He understands it, which keeps it tethered to the realm of the human. Otherwise, it may as well be a lichen. Nothing over here. It's Ron's big moment. So, okay, Ron, anything you want to tell us about that tape? Everything on that tape was wild. Really? Everything? Wild stuff indeed. Even the horses? Everything on that tape was wild. I used to tell everybody about this donut shop in Sonora. Donut Party. I told everyone they had amazing crawlers, trying to convince them to stop there with me anytime we were in the area. But the reason it stuck in my head was the name. I just thought it was funny. Were the horses wild? I thought those were the horses here. Oh, the neighbors? We call the horses here the neighbors. No, I didn't recognize that one. One morning, on our way back after a late gig, just as the sun was coming up, Ben and Bob and I found ourselves on 65 by the Sonora exit at prime donut eating hours, so we stopped by. I don't think there are any wild horses anymore. Really? How could that be? Oh, well, they've all been domesticated. Are the neighbors domesticated? We don't own them. No, they're, feral? It wasn't called Donut Party, it was just called Donuts. I said I thought they'd changed the name, but why? And then I noticed there was a party supply store across the street. The donuts weren't even very good. But the weird part is, I still fantasize about stopping by the real Donut Party some morning and having one of those amazing crawlers. In fact, the desire has only grown more intense. Oh right, in your documentary you'd said that the people who used to live here had freed their horses. Exactly, but you can free your pet cat, but it won't turn back into a panther, right? That's kind of haunting, a kind of ghost, like Ben was saying. But everything is a ghost around here these days. It's a ghost town, with people still living in it, against all reason. Despite all the pain in this town's history, the Pueblo de Nada vanished, the airstrip went bankrupt, the company town buckled under guilt and exploitation. Even the first people here, all we have left of them is their graves. What about the dogs? Yeah, Ron. Was the dog wild? Everything on that tape was wild. I just hope our ending isn't so dramatic. Maybe we can just decline peacefully into irrelevance, and then one day stop completely unnoticed. That sounds nice. It didn't look wild to me. I guess it's a matter of perspective. I'm not sure I agree, but now it's time for the weather. Thanks again, Ron. We're hanging on long past our expiration date. Well, the weather should be pretty wild. I can hear it for myself right now. I'm gonna turn the game sound down. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Well, the weather should be pretty wild. I can hear it for myself right now. Yeah, getting pretty intense out there. Do you get storms like this a lot? More and more? Right, of course. And then, of course, there's the actual ghost. Alright, here's Elmo with the weather report, and lucky us, we also have Cyrano Cole, who stopped by to add some drama. Musically, I hear he's going to be at the Rum Colony later tonight if you need a cocktail after the show. So, let's go live to Elmo for the weather report. Oh, is Elmo ready? I should make sure the camera's pointed in the right direction. Oh good, standing water on the floor and a hole in my boot. Cool, my socks are getting wet. I love to have wet socks. Looks like the ceiling panels are swelling a little. Is that really happening? Are you about to get drenched? Elmo and Cyrano are killing this weather report. Hey. Hey. This is so trippy. How did he work out these ratios of oil, water, and dyes? It seems so precise the way he drips them in one little half drop at a time. Must have been a lot of trial and error. Just staring at a circle of light on the wall. Drip, drip, drip. Roofs are leaking all over town. Where do you get your supplies, Elmo? Ben has a guy and, oh wait, you mean the projection stuff? I mail-ordered those candle dyes. This other stuff is just mineral oil, like you can get at the drugstore. The projector, somebody just left it in here. Incredible. Actually, it was the girl who does the pirate video stuff. You know, jamming our signal. Weaver. Yeah, our resident ghost. Ghost, huh? You really think she's dead? Flash flooding imminent. Does it matter? Drowned quarter folks head to the hangar? Of course it matters. Can't leave a ghost until you die, right? Well, that's one way to do it. But have you ever missed someone so bad you felt like they were haunting you? Or been in a relationship with someone where it feels like their ex-lover is always in the room? I see what you mean. Hey, you think she'll get us tonight? It's about time, right? He's right. We're about to. Plus, Saturn's in retrograde. So I hear. Not that she keeps a strict schedule, but it's never longer than a month or two between... what does Mimi call them? I know they're bad for the general vibe around here, but can I be honest? Emily nods and not gravity. I kinda like it when she busts in and takes over our signal. It's like a log falling on the road. Reminds you that this all used to be trees. Interventions. That's what Mimi calls it. It's been going for a couple of years now. Her performances were cool, though. I never saw her, perform, but I heard about it. Oh yeah, I saw her do it a few times. I was into it. That first time she jammed her signal and showed up in our broadcast, I didn't know who she was. She'd already disappeared when I came in and took over her old job. She did lectures, right? Yeah, you could say that. I thought of them as, storytelling sessions. She talked for hours and shuffled through slide after slide of shapes, numbers, weird constellations. Who knows what any of it meant? Everyone was so excited and confused and scared a little. On the defensive, they still are. And this was her projector. Right? I don't know where she got it, though. It still works really well. I got a spare bulb at a resale shop, but I haven't had to use it yet. It's strange. I never think of what she's doing as hostile, really. Sounds like Elmo has the same impression. What happened to the rest of her stuff? I bet her slides are still here in the studio, maybe with the posters? Sherry has all Weaver's old notebooks. I know that. She keeps them in her archive, you know, the big blue filing cabinet with the daisies on painted on. Yeah, anyway, the really hard part is to find is these two pieces of glass. They have to be paired very precisely. I had to get these from Clock Store over in Glasgow. That's where they come from, clock faces. Thanks for the tips, dude. Anytime, dude. Back to you, Rita. Thanks, Elmo and Cyrano. Next, we have a selection from a video databank. You're gonna like this one, Maya. It's about caves. Ooh. Yeah, local caves. We play this one a lot. It's pretty cool. Oh, but we have a phone call. Should we get it now or should we wait? We'll get it now. Okay. Rita presses a button on the telephone next to her. Hello, WEVP? Hope you all packed a lunch. Sounds like this is going to be a long one. This should be okay if I wander around a bit. Hey, babe. Do you know Weaver? Oh, really? Was she nice to you? Well, that's good to hear. You make her sound so normal. Talk to anyone else and it's like she had a second head. One of our little mysteries, like the out-of-towner. Oh, really? Did you know Mo? Wow. I had no idea. It was terrible what happened to him. Right. Justice. Someday. What a waste. Sad. Well, have fun. I'm gonna see if Jeff is done. Someone, Mimi I think, was tracking Weaver's appearances here. She'd jot down the time and date whenever there was an intervention. Mimi hasn't been by in a few weeks, though. When was the last one? Let's see what the notes say. Oh wait, she just wrote times, not dates. Well, that's not very helpful. They're all at night. I guess that's a pattern. Oh, and here's Ron's recipe for mac and cheese. 6 cups of milk? Decadent. No leaks back here just yet. The tapes are safe for the moment. I have a bad feeling the situation won't last. Soon I'll be scrounging for a tarp to protect the video databank. The couch is getting a little damp, but Ben and Bob don't seem to mind. Probably too wrapped up in the project. Bob had some theories about Weaver's broadcasts. He was considering how she might be tapping into our wires here in town. He built a model, like a proof of concept. This big metal box he could wire up and use to take over our signal. It actually worked. But the thing needed too much power to run. Even a car battery could only keep it going for a few seconds. Weaver's broadcast just loops and loops, sometimes for hours. Consolidated Power doesn't pay any attention to this town anymore. But they still have us on a strict energy budget. There's no way she's plugged into the grid. Oh my god, he's still going. I like that Ron is sleeping. Oh shit, the line's dead. The phone lines are such a mess up here. Hello? Was that the storm, or was it the damn phone lines? Man, they're really flaky. Ugh. Business as usual. He has a really soothing voice. That's Jeff. He's a regular caller. He's asleep. Maya indicates Ronnie has fallen asleep in his chair. Oh, well, let him sleep. Okay, well, let's play the tape. This is cave art. It's a classic around here. I'm excited. Looks like Mo's got this one all queued up. Way to go, Mo. I should let Maya enjoy the tape. So, if Weaver is a ghost, by some agreed-upon definition and mechanics, that means WEVP TV is haunted. Should we be doing something about that? Aren't you supposed to, like, have an exorcism or something? I mean, you can't just leave a place haunted. That would be negligence. I'd miss her, though. I guess there are good ghosts and bad ghosts. Like spiders. Good in the garden, bad in the shower. A loud crashing noise from outside wakes Ron up. What the hell? What was that? I'll check it out. Yikes. Should we go help? Oh no, oh, the tape is over. What did you think? That was great. Yeah, I like that one. It sounded pretty close. Oh no, is the power out or just lights? I don't know. I'll take a look. Maybe a fuse blew on the relay or something. Some scared rat shoot a wire. Abandoned ship. Just kidding. Guess I'll take a look around and see if anything's smoking. Our little town must seem even more romantic now, huh? If it survives tonight. Maybe we should call... Nah, the phones are definitely dead now. I guess it's up to me to figure out what's going on here. Is that a... No, of course not. Lightning flashes in the dark make it look like a slideshow out there. My summer vacation in the ghost town. They're still picking away at their projects in the dark as the storm bears down on us. So what else is new? That's this whole town, just whistling along on its way to the grave. Poor thing, she's soaked. Are you having trouble with... Oh, I spoke too soon. I thought your power was out. Yeah, it just came back on. Weird. Good, though. You made it, in the storm. Oh, I never miss the evening broadcast. To be honest, it's the only time I get to share my work. Nikki's still carrying a torch for the out-of-towner. Sure, of course. That's great. Wow, it's pouring out there. I think they have some paper towels over by the set. Oh, thank you. Well, ready to go? Ready. Some of the studio wiring is in puddles now. That's dangerous, right? Nobody else seems concerned about it. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend that I didn't see that. Doesn't bode well for the roof. Now we enter the cultural section of tonight's program. Did you fix it? Just came back on its own. It'll just take a second for the equipment to warm back up and we'll be on there again. Spooky. It's a disaster out there. The neighbor's barn is basically underwater. Wow. So, just completely flooded. I passed Ron on the way in. He's going to take a look and see if there's anything he can do. Will they be okay? Ron knows what he's doing. He used to be a firefighter. It's a little bit different though, right? I guess. Nikki hands some wet paper towels to Rita. Ah, thanks. Nikki pulls a journal out of her jacket pocket. I brought my work. Oh, good. Nikki reads her poetry. It's a weekly feature of our broadcast. Oh, great. I look forward to hearing it. Yeah. I just hope that we can keep going. We lost power a little while before, right? Better get started then. To the out-of-towner. What eagle flew you to your final bed? It was not men who brought you there to sleep. The men who left you bloodied then and fled had chosen mud and muddy-watered creek. Did wild turkeys gobble, dote and care, and wipe the moss beneath your eyelids clear? Did cardinals pull the twigs out from your hair and wash your hands and feet and trim your beard? When wood ducks dressed you in their resting gown, and pigeons fashioned shoes from leaves and bark, who then sewed flowers into a burial crown? The one who made your headdress was a hawk. The men who broke your body, where were they? The vultures stayed home on your funeral day. Emily, look at the monitor. Dude, be quiet, we're live right now. No, we're not. Look. It's not our broadcast. Damn, there she is. Mama was right. What's wrong? It's her, Weaver. Aw, really? Tonight? Sorry about this, Maya. What's going on? Local prankster. She jams our signal every once in a while whenever the stars align. Prankster? Not the word I would use. Damn, so what do you do about it? Just wait until she's done. We've never been able to stop her from jamming us. We don't even know how she does it. We should be back in a minute, though. Don't worry. Un pueblo de nada. Act 5, Scene 1. A town. Good morning, sunshine. Aw, poor cow. Or horse? Poor horse. That's everything, right? I'm afraid you carried more than your share. Nah, I'm used to it. TVs are pretty heavy, too. I almost forgot about daylight. Sun is shining. Birds are singing. Flowers are opening. Dew glistens on the grass. The worms are going to be out for sure. Planning a fishing trip? Nah, that's a waste of good worms. So, where is 5 Dogwood Drive? I'll go scout ahead. It's a nice morning for a walk, but a bit muddy. Oh, we have a cat. Jorge scanned the shelf. He quickly found the book he was looking for. There were only a few dozen left. More shelves than books now. The result of an experiment called the New Selection. Privately, he called it the Purge. A Crystal Age, anonymous. A fairly recent publication. Jorge flipped through the pages for a minute. Binding was stiff. He hadn't read the book, but had discussed it with Isabel, the community architect. It was the story of a man who sleeps for thousands of years and awakens into a world without hunger or strife. Isabel had requested the book, part of the collection she was building called Ecological Mysticism, and now is to be the latest victim of Fraser's reckless experiment. Fraser proposed and executed experiments just like any other community member, but his experiments had a scorched earth quality. They were all destructive. He moved from one area of community life to the next in search of excess to cut back. Lately, he'd turned his scythe to a library. The new selection meant decimating their store of books according to Fraser's own inscrutable criteria. Now, we are guaranteed something vital every time we take a book from the shelves. No more time lost to printed chaff. Fraser's colorless voice echoed in Jorge's mind. He felt like spitting. Instead, he tucked a book under his arm and set off for the woods. Aw. Well, hi, kitty. They must have been pretty nice pigs if they let you ride them like that. I made myself light as a feather and they didn't even know I was there. Then what happened? Then I found the library of television. There were TVs everywhere. As soon as you walked in the door, every channel was playing at once. I had one eyeball pointed at a cooking show and the other at a crime show. If I had stayed any longer, I would have split into 1,000 different people. Sounds scary, but also kind of cool. Exactly. I'll take you there sometime if you want. I was traveling with some strange companions for a while, too, but not as strange as yours. There was a strange woman who I think was a witch. She talked a lot about herbs and rituals. I'll try to remember some later. I spent most of the night in the company of a bus driver. She told me all the spots to wait for the bus. All the secret spots to wait for the bus. In fact, she gave me a thorough tour. I'll share the secrets with you, but only with you. Got to ride in a big truck and a tugboat. And we both had quite an adventure. We should stick together. I agree completely. That's a damn shame. That's what you call it. Well, what do you know anyway? Sorry, I'm just upset. The seer reclined high in a tree, carving fine details in a small wooden pipe. She'd done the bulk of the carving over hazy mornings with the stoneworker. He smoked constantly. She only smoked when she was happy, or very sad, or bored. From this height, she could see the earth movers shaping the mound under the draftsman's supervision. She could see him inspecting his plan, the drawing he'd made from her game, the map. This headstone has no name on it. Maybe it was his choice. Some stubborn old man not wanting the town to fuss over him, even in death. I'm sure this is what Uncle Andreas wanted. Well then, we should give it to him. And you, my friend, are you looking for a place to rest? This is as good a place as you will find, I think. So not too sad. No, I think it should be happy. Right. Think it'll rain anymore? I'm gonna turn the volume back up a little bit. There we go. Nah, I don't see any clouds. Hell, it'll probably rain anyhow. Just our luck. Oh, really? It's funny because I say that to Mercury all the time. Interesting. Paints and chalk in the small bag, diary in the large bag, stuffed dog in the small bag, photograph of Chris in the large bag, no, in the small bag. Sandra couldn't decide. Should she keep the photo of her husband, or should Alex keep the photo of his father? She wrapped the diary in a towel before stuffing it in her bag, feeling slightly silly doing it. Fraser had been on a tear collecting all written material as community property lately. She was sure he couldn't possibly have meant even a personal diary, but was she sure? She set everything down, closed her eyes, massaged her temples, and wondered, not for the first time, how Fraser had consolidated so much invisible power so quickly. How had he done it? Had he in fact done anything at all to claim his incredible lattice of influence? Or had they simply blindly given it to him? At first, they only observed the truck from a distance. It was an alien carcass, something that made more sense in death than in life. The company had dropped it off in the middle of the day when everyone was at the plant. They let it sit overnight, alone and strange. Nikki thought it was ridiculous, but Ron approved. To Elmo, the truck was simply beautiful. The town didn't produce much garbage anyway, she said. Who would drive it, and where? The only road in town was the old airstrip. Everyone had to agree this was money and attention that would have been better spent addressing the town's drainage problems, maybe finally getting started on that damned messianic ditch. Still, they had a few things to dispose of. Broken flower pots, empty glass bottles, clothes that didn't fit anymore. They gradually fell into the habit of collecting waste and carrying it to the truck. Once a month, some shadows would come in from the night woods and haul the garbage away on a cart. Elmo gave Rita a tour of the cameras and wiring. She'd just been through a certificate program on public broadcasting at the community college, so no surprises there. Nikki showed her the video databank, James demonstrated the sand-in image processor, and then Ron came barreling in with an urgent expression. Rita had entered the public broadcasting program at Fishtrap Lake Community and Technical College with a vague desire to be a newscaster. One of her instructors got her excited about pirate television, and she followed threads through TV and activist communities until she found herself here, somehow volunteering at WEVP TV. It wasn't quite the radical guerrilla television crew she dreamed of joining. This group seemed more interested in sharing the town's home movies than culture jamming and interfering with corporate stations, but she liked the focus on local concerns. Ron's news was clearly bad news. Rita's heart sank a little as they listened. She knew things were unraveling, knew from experience what that looked like. Wouldn't it be nice to arrive at the beginning of something for once? But as she listened to Ron detail the power company's sudden withdrawal from town affairs, she heard other possibilities. She studied their faces and found concern, for sure, but also something like relief, hope, an awakening of play. Nikki looked like she might have been daydreaming. These were people, Rita decided, ready to step out of the company's shadow and build something of their own. Ron said the TV station would still be funded by court order. Could that be their anchor? Slow-mo crow. Six or seven men stood in the sun about a dozen yards from the ditch, and he could hear them laughing. He tried not to hear them. Instead, he listened to the shovel punching through the dirt as he shaped the trench. It was a wet dirt, Mud, really. It made a hungry sound as he shaped the trench walls. Here, at the bottom of the hollow, there were patches of mud everywhere. Water pooled on the ground or just below the surface. That was the danger. The laughter quieted into greedy chuckles, and he could feel the men approaching. Waffles and weather? Waffles for any weather. Making me a bit sleepy. Hypnotic. Oh, hi, kitty. Where did you come from, huh? Follow a bird up here? These folks, the one who built this thing, they chase birds too. What kind of fish are those? They're goldfish. They eat algae and mosquito eggs. Very helpful. I'm surprised they survived the storm, actually. It was pretty bad, as you can see. Devastating, I should say. You think I should stay here? No, you'll be lonely. Most everyone is leaving now. We're back over here by the farm. There's that weird sleepy singing again. Two songs overlapping, but the same singers in each group. You think the truck's okay down there? I doubt any thief could get it started. He really is a beautiful dog. He seems to like you. What do you think, Homer? You want to go ride with this nice lady for a while? That's okay. I'm just taking one last look and then I'm back on the road. You said you were sketching? Researching? Yeah, I just came down to see this ancient earthwork. It's beautiful, right? This big mound? Most of these ancient earthworks are thought to be burial mounds, but this one definitely isn't. To be honest, I don't know what it was for. Where to? Okay, game, I could use a hint here. Nothing in the church, anything in the houses. There we go. Well, the mailbox is 5 Dogwood Drive. Is there a doormat? Sometimes a key is under the doormat. What am I saying? Strange to say, but I feel like I've been here before. Anyone else? Just showed up. The house. When? Sometime last night, I think. Never noticed it before. It feels warmer in here somehow, right? Warmer and brighter. It's actually quite spacious. Bigger than it looks. I could see myself in a place like this. Light in here is pretty great, actually. I could set up a new workshop here. I could fix TVs again, or whatever people need. Hell, I could fix toasters. One could really fit a lot of books in here. There's so much stuff just spread all over the place from the storm. Maybe we could put the town's old stuff in here. Like on display, like a museum, or a memorial. So whoever lives here next will know who came before. You think more people will come after these people leave? People will come. There's something about this place. We saved what we could. Hey, Cat. I'll race you. From here to that pile of mail, okay? Come stand here. This is the starting line. Ready? Get set. Go. All right. Well, it's no shame to lose. I'm a fast runner. Oh, hi, kitty. More birds. Are you a thing? You're not a thing. Are you a thing? You're a thing. Clyde lay on his back on the runway, hands folded behind his head, halfway between dream and the afternoon sun. He entertained the momentary delusion he'd survived a plane crash and was vaguely unhappy when the dream faded. Coming into land, he'd slammed into a truck. The driver probably thought the runway was another road. The runway smelled like oil, years of leaky light aircraft taking off and landing. All the state said they wanted was to knock down some trees, many trees, and build a road tying the small town to the larger web of streets and highways that entombed the rest of the country. It would bring in new goods, new people, maybe even some cash from tourism. Many of the residents supported the idea. But Clyde and his inner circle of stunt pilots turned mail carriers knew that a road would be in the end of their secluded paradise. I like how the cat is just standing on a ghost. I'm just curious, I guess. I know them pretty well by now, but I'd like to have known them a little better. There's one I think is called Jorge. He left us some clues in books a while back. I leave the radio on for him at night. He seems to like the AM call-in shows, but just out of tune. What is it about the radio they love? They all love it. To tell you the truth, I feel a little bad I won't be here to care for them anymore. Isn't that something? For me, it's back on the road. A performance in Nashville. I'll play music with a friend in a small bar. We have performed together before. He sings beautifully, but sadly. But with everyone gone, who will feed these ghosts? So how did you all get food out here? That's what I figured. Makes sense to me. Yeah, okay. Will you stick around to help? Okay, then. Guess we better get started. Nice little setup you've got. Yeah, it's alright. Many afternoons have come and gone right here, listening to the radio, taking a break from some maintenance work. How's she looking anyway? Oh, I'll have her up and running again this afternoon, no problem. I need to tune some of the pulleys. It's a delicate ballet of engineering, miss. You might be surprised. Well, just lucky I have all the parts here. Difficult to mail order with no roads. To tell you the truth, I've long suspected the reason Cass never wanted any roads here was just to keep the horses safe. And now... Rita tore up weeds, almost stood next to her with a bucket. She passed him the uprooted weeds, and he stuffed them in the bucket. They worked this way for a few hours. Dark clouds drifted slowly closer, but wouldn't arrive until evening. Rita and Elmo left to get some tea. The bucket of weed sat warming in the sun. The dandelions wilted and the clover dried. Some wayward insects continued to eat. When Rita and Elmo returned, they assumed the same roles and continued working. The garden was coming along as well as they could hope, given months of neglect. When the plant shut down, the company abruptly pulled out of the area and took a large part of the town's population with it. This included the Carver family, who had tended this garden, the largest and most productive in town for years. Now the garden would be cared for by a new family and feed what was left of the town and whatever it became next. They didn't know much about gardening, but they were prepared to learn on the job. They knew for sure they would plant tomatoes. Those had grown well from this garden in the past. Rita and Elmo worked until it started to rain. The rain washed their sweat into the dirt. Anything in here? Nothing. Keep wanting the other cats to be like things you can interact with. She watched him. She stood in her own shadow. A few deer hunters and talkers walked past but said nothing to the seer. Didn't even look. She studied the path. This was the path the seer had found her in her scrying game, a series of private dice rolls and inscrutable diagrams. At the end of the route, she'd seen a safe, quiet place, caverns of leathery black birds, a lake of eyeless fish, a towering flame. Now, the diver walked the mounds, memorizing the route. He was almost ready. You got anything for me, Ron? Useless. Painted that fast. My God. Well, hello. Wanda, time to wake up. Funny how you stick together and you still act like you're alone. That's the cat way, huh? Always alone together. Just like that old man we were traveling with. Can't help it, though. I think you forgot how to do anything else. No. Where are you going? That way. Mail? What is wrong with you people? Trying to progress the story here. You anything? You don't look like anything. There we go. Look at this place, the library. What a mess. I'm basically like this building's only next of kin. I don't think anybody else, nobody living, has spent as much time exploring it. Once I found a door behind a bookshelf, but it was locked and I never found the key. I like that kind of history, the lived-in details. It's how you know people have always been people, always made choices, and nothing was inevitable. You'd fit right in here. Sure, it's a mess right now, but there's some residual energy from those fearless experimenters that I don't think will ever dissipate. I could stay here. What's good, little dude? We were talking about the library. Is this your family? Ezra looks at Johnny. Sure we are. Right, man? Whatever you say, Cricket. Ron dug a grave. And ever since then, I've just been treating it like a little cafe for the town. Everybody pitches in? Yeah, it's a community thing, but I make the waffles. If you want, and you promise to keep it secret, I'll pass on my waffle recipe before I head out. Why so secretive? Mystery adds to the flavor. Well, I know I'm not sticking around. You think you'll do anything with this place? Hey, people gotta eat, right? Well, some people. "3A, lay paper flat. 3B, bring bottom left corner up to top right corner. Crease with firm, steady pressure along diagonal fold." Nikki applied only gentle pressure. Looser flowers felt more alive. She rolled her wrists. It was the 6th hour of her assigned company store shift, and she'd made dozens of flowers. Ron had bought a bouquet and cleaned out their stock that afternoon. Repeat steps 4A through 7 for each petal, taking care not to rip the filaments from step 9. She put Ron's bouquet down in the sales ledger as romantic bouquet, but really he was just buying it in bulk at a small discount. Since the company started allowing resident workers to donate power flowers to Aunt Connie for civic enthusiasm points, exchangeable for sick days, they had become kind of a shadow currency for local trade. A commotion outside caught Nikki's attention. Men yelling, blows landing. She put down her work and stepped out just in time to see the crowd disperse. You got anything for me, Ron? "6 feet? It's a standard for people anyway, but maybe I ought to stick with traditional depth. Out of respect." Is that respect to treat them like us? Or is it more respectful to treat them like what they were? Bet the old company had a whole chapter full of regulations on it. That'd be handy about now. Well, at least as a starting point or something, or what not to do. If those greedy sons of bitches had finished that drainage ditch when they were supposed to. I should put some of that bile into digging these holes. Cat in a box. Clyde and Cass sat cross-legged in the shade of a light aircraft, Cass shuffling cards and Clyde absently flipping through a stack of unopened letters. Demand for aerial stunts having faded away almost completely, and many of their company having died or aged out of the profession, Clyde and Cass found for their remaining pilots a steady flow of contract work delivering mail to remote rural areas. But this place was abandoned. Cass's cards predicted they'd be here for quite a while. That rug really pulls the room together. Thing over here. Seas. Kind of creepy. You go up, 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 up. Come here. There we go. Frog. Nothing in there. Nothing out here. You did say you'd have it working this afternoon, so... You got anything for me? City of Ladies. Nothing on the porch, nothing down here. You're a robot. Where is this robot? Shannon wants to turn the church into a workshop. There we go. And Rita never got as many bands to come up here as she would have liked, I think. But it was always a blast. Sure, how does anybody find this place without any roads coming in? They wander in from the trees. Sometimes they're following directions and sometimes they just end up here. It's the hardest thing about keeping an artistic community alive. Just getting people to show up. Wow, look at this. Emily pulls a videotape out of the rubble. Labels all muddy. Looks like... Oh, it's cave art. Cool. Who knows if it'll play, though. Oh, this is Rita's tape. I should get this to her. Maybe she can clean it up. Emily pulls a broken projector out of the rubble. Aw. Elmo's projector. Aw, it's ruined. Poor Elmo. He'll be devastated. No, he'll be cool with it. Takes a lot to perturb that guy. Very little I can salvage here. It wouldn't mean anything anyway. It's kind of a package deal. You need the tapes and the station and the people. One part is missing, the whole thing falls apart. Got the old shed painted. Who did you say it was, brother? Who was it who fell by the way? When whiskey and blood run together, did you hear anyone pray? I didn't hear nobody pray. I heard the crash on the highway, but I didn't hear nobody pray. When I heard the crash on the highway, I knew what it was from the start. I went to the scene of destruction, and a picture was stamped on my heart. There was whiskey and blood all together, mixed with glass where they lay. Death played her hand in destruction, but I didn't hear nobody pray. I wish I could change this sad story that I'm now telling you, but there is no way I can change it, for somebody's life is now through. Their soul has been called by the master, they died in a crash on the way. And I heard the groans of the dying, but I didn't hear nobody pray. I didn't hear nobody pray. I heard the crash on the highway, but I didn't hear nobody pray. Where are you going, kitty? Wish you guys would say something. Part 4, subsection G, notes on inhabitants. Most have relocated already prior to transitional event. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, right? I can spot you easy now. I'm making a survey of the site for potential reclamation. Initial results are promising. I think this may be the moment we finally reclaim this ghost town. Reclaim spaces. You a thing? Are. Hey, y'all. Thanks for sticking around for this. I know we've all got places to... Well, if anybody still needs somewhere to go, be sure to speak up, okay? I think Ron's heading through the woods tonight. Back to the road. You want a caravan? You staying in? Yeah, sure. I'll stay. At least for a while. I just want to make sure everyone has somewhere to go. For right now, though, we've got some friends to bury. The neighbors. Nikki has a poem, and I have a song. If anybody wants to say anything, though, I'll go first. The neighbors were kind, gentle, beautiful horses. I used to go on walks with the silver one out in the woods by... Why didn't anybody ever give them names? The silver one. I guess he was gray, but his coat looked silver in the light. So I always called him that in my head. And the other one is the other one. And I love these horses, but you'd never know that if you heard me talk about them like that. So I'm sorry, silver one and other one. Sorry I don't have better names for you. You deserve better names. Also, sorry I'm so bad at this. Anybody else have something to say? We didn't give them names because their names weren't ours to give. The horses were here before us, you know. They came with the people from Central America. You know, the Utopians? The people of nothing. People of nothing arrived by horseback in October. Their first experiment was to feed the horses. That was generations ago. People and horses. I don't know when we started calling them the neighbors. We should have called them people, I think. They were the only consistent residents of this place for over 100 years, and now they're all gone. Who are the people now? I was thinking about when all those canned carrots showed up in the mail. Y'all remember that? Somebody was calling around with some canned carrots they wanted to be rid of, and I guess Consolidated Power got word about it. So these cans of carrots showed up in the mail, and we didn't know where they came from at first. I tried some out. No flavor to them. Some of them were gray. Just awful. Rita said that's still okay to eat. Like, sometimes carrots just lose their color if they sit in a can too long. But nobody wanted them, really. Well, Aunt Connie came on TV with the message like, "Hope the horses are enjoying their treat." And we thought, okay, these are for the neighbors. Sure, horses love carrots, right? But the neighbors wouldn't touch them. Wouldn't even look at them. You'd think they were canned rocks. We opened a couple dozen and set them all out by the water, though. By the water trough. And they were still there a day later. Even the raccoons steered it clear. And then, of course, Consolidated sent us an invoice for every can we'd open. Already made it in company script. How do you like that? Okay, I guess we'd better move on. Nikki, you ready? Thanks for sticking around. Like Emily said, it's so good to have you all here for this. I think the neighbors would have liked this. All of us gathered here. They like to be around people. Maya, you and our other visitors might not know about the out-of-towner. He came here to work for the company to dig a ditch. And the company worked him good and hard and for less than he was worth. But it wasn't enough. They had to use him up completely. After that, we became ungovernable. First out of shame, then grief, then anger. I wanted to write this poem because the neighbors led me through that time. I used to sit with them out in the woods. There's a clearing out there. It's about 20 minutes walk directly away from everything. I mean, there's no reason to walk that direction unless you're going to this clearing. The neighbors like to graze there. There's a certain grass they like the best. It only grows in partial shade, deep in the woods. I'd go out to that clearing and just watch them, in my shame, grief, and anger. And they knew. Any of you who spent time with these courses will remember. They knew just what I was feeling. I could tell. It radiated off them like sweat evaporating. Creatures of pure compassion. Forgiveness. The kind of forgiveness Frost meant when he wrote something we somehow haven't to deserve. When I go, I want to be buried out there in that clearing and feed that grass they loved. Look for me under your boot soles, as the fella says. I think the grass will never grow again, here where it grew so sweet. Now only clay will rise to meet the morning air who would eat grass now when our neighbors sleeping lay. Our neighbors were the best of us, of course. It's always so, our better selves clear of ourselves, where we can see their glory glow. They glow now underground, our friends with love. I have no will left to comfort you, but staring at the clouds my vision showed. In distant valleys home to better friends. Return their souls in peace and gently roam. Then we buried the horses.
I've heard of a land of joy and peace and wonderful life. A beautiful place of mansions fair and skies so bright, where all who believe the Savior dear forever shall stay. And having been saved by grace divine, I'm going that way. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. Yes, dear, the Savior I adore is with me each day. I'm clinging to Him and never to stray. Just singing praises all day long. I'm going that way. Well, glorious news I tell and sing as onward I go. For those who are still astray in sin, my Savior may know. I want them to sing that praise above some beautiful day. For glory to Him who died for me, I'm going that way. I know I shall meet Him at the gate when trials are past. I know I shall meet Him face to face in glory at last. Oh, I believe that when we meet, well done, He'll say. While trusting that soul redeeming love, I'm going that way. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. Yes, dear, the Savior I adore is with me each day. I'm clinging to Him and never to stray. Just singing praises all day long. I'm going that way.
Epilogue. Look for me under your boot soles. Okay then. Let's get out of here. No. There we go. So, that is the end of Kentucky Route Zero. I'm wondering how many different choices affect the ending. I'm wondering if we could have saved what's his face. It kind of seems like you would need to have played the game through at least once to know how to save him. Oh. But yeah. So that was my first time playing through the entire game. I think I said in the first video I played through the first probably 2.5 chapters. I don't remember playing through that third chapter. But it's possible that I did at some point. But yeah, I enjoyed the spaciness of it. I enjoyed the aesthetic. A lot of the writing was interesting, although there were a lot of how do I say it? A lot of the naturalistic writing, where two characters are just like having a conversation, and one's like, "Oh, I'm so awkward. Why do I always have to make this awkward?" It feels like it's supposed to be characterizing, but for me, when I'm trying to play through the game, it kind of makes it drag a little bit. But yeah, I enjoyed a good majority of it. Um, yeah, I'm really glad that this is not going to be another 3-hour video. I'm glad that we have come to the end of Kentucky Route Zero, and I'm not going to be here for another hour and a half. Having said that, let me know how your guys' Thanksgiving was, and if you have any plans for Christmas. Christmas is coming up. I went to Dallas for Thanksgiving. I just got back, technically Tuesday. I got back Tuesday morning at like midnight. Um, and I have been working since Tuesday, so I'm very tired this week. I actually had a coffee right before I started recording. Um, yeah, I finished NaNoWriMo. I won. This is the first year since Red Hats and Black Mask that I've won. So the rough draft for the Manor of Dr. Lyman is up on write.as/AWM rights. So if you follow me on Twitter or the Fediverse or Instagram or any of those others, if you follow my Facebook page, everything is AWM rights. So you just have to plug that in. Write, WRITE, .as AWM rights. The entire rough draft is there. I'm going to start rewriting it sometime this month. I'm not sure when. Once I have a good revision down, I'm probably going to take the rough draft down just so that I can start shopping it around. So if you're interested in reading the rough draft, that's where you can find it, and I'll probably put a link down in the description. I'm trying to think of what else. If you're watching this, you probably already know about my first two books, In the Shadows of My Mind or Red Hats and Black Masks. You can find those on my Amazon page. You can find those on my bookshop, bookshop.org page. Just search my name, they'll come up. Yeah. Trying to think of what else. Yeah. All right. I'm tired. I'm going to sign off. I will see you guys next week. I don't know what we're playing yet. I'll try to think of something good, something short. Another one video, or yeah, another one video game. A 1-day game. It'd be nice. But I'll see what I can find. Maybe something I've played before, maybe something new. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I love you. Have a good week.